Welcome to the Men's Room. I'm Tim Cooper, and this channel is for successful men who've quietly lost the plot. I'm a high-performance coach, car-obsessed, and apparently someone who thinks successful men need to hear some hard truths. Every week, I'll give you the tools, the frameworks, and the conversations that help you to close the gap between the man that you are and the man you could be. If that sounds like your kind of show, you're in the right place. Every high-performing man I've ever worked with has a version of this, a moment where the deal falls through. The motivation disappears and the clarity goes, and on the outside, everything looks fine. The car, the house, the business, but inside, it feels like the whole thing is coming apart. That moment has a name. I call it the storm, and there's a protocol for it. And today, I'm going to show you what to do when you're in the storm. Welcome to the Men's Room. My name's Tim, and today I'm going to give you the tools that's going to change your overwhelmed brain forever. Doesn't that sound nice? So stick around, because the tools that I'm about to give you are the tools that I've been using with my clients for over 11 years. And these aren't tools that I've got from a training day. I haven't read these in a book. These are tools that I developed myself, because when I'm in the eye of the storm, I needed something to get me out of that funk, let's say. And so I created this exact same framework, and I'm going to give it to you today. But before we do that, I want to talk about where overwhelm actually comes from in your world. It's usually fabrication, it's usually a narrative, something that you have formulated off the back of your past experiences. And the danger of that, of course, is you rerun those experiences, especially when they're not good. And we tend to go down this path, right? They connect the dots, each negative thought. And before you know it, you're thinking negative about everything. You're thinking that there's catastrophe coming. So you're worried now, you're stressed, you're anxious, because everything is a future prediction. Let me get that out again. Everything is a future prediction. And it's not true. It feels true because it's happened before. But if everything that happened before happened again, well, you wouldn't need to think at all about life at all, would you? Because it'd be easy to understand what's going to happen next, because the same thing will occur. So you've got to challenge it. You've got to challenge the narrative, and you've got to change your state. And the only way that you do that, challenge the narrative, is by looking at it from a different angle, reframing what's actually going on, and start to look at this from a place of, what can I get from this that's going to unlock my next level so I don't repeat this again, rather than this is absolute, this is what's going to happen, catastrophe is coming, and so I need to stop risking anything. I need to put my arms around everything, protect everything, keep everything safe, predictable and certain. Nothing grows in that area, by the way, but that's what we go to when we start to feel like we're out of control. When we start to feel like we can't contain all of these things at once. Now, entrepreneurs, business owners will have this probably more than most people, because we do spin more plates, right? It's just the nature of the beast. 1 minute you're producing content, the next minute you're sending an invoice, the next minute you're on a Zoom call, the next minute you're thinking about a marketing strategy or looking at a system or an operational side of your business. So naturally, you're going to have more on your plate. When that comes on top, try having a present, thriving relationship at home. Forget it. It's not going to happen. You walk in the room, but you're not in the room. You say hello, but you're not really present. You try to play with your kids, but deep down you're waiting for the DocuSign, the contract, the email, the phone call, and you're not really with them. And you think at that age or stage, don't know how old your kids are, but in the early stages, you think that they don't notice, but they do. There's little signs, because what they're doing is they're working on observation. And if they're observing you stressed, not present, distracted, always looking at a device, not really, giving them the next step when they're playing, then they're going to figure out in the end that you're not really there. And that's not very nice for you or for the child. And most importantly, that's not the type of role model that you want to be, is it? So you need the tools, right? You need the exercises, you need the systems, and you need the strategies to eliminate this busy, overwhelming brain forever. And when I say that, it doesn't mean to say that you're never going to feel it again. It just means to say your response to feeling it is going to feel very different, because there's nothing like having a set of tools to counter something when it starts. Come with me, because we're going to sit down and I'm going to break these tools down in way more depth than what I'm doing in this car. So let's pop to my office, where I'm going to take you through exactly how this works. Let's get down to business then, shall we? Old school as always, journal and pen. I'm going to give you 3 questions that I've been using for a very long time that allows me to change my state when I'm feeling like life is coming on top. When I feel like it's all going down the pan, where it doesn't matter where I turn, I can't figure it out. I feel stressed, I'm worried, I'm overwhelmed. All of these emotions are coming up, and it doesn't matter what I do, I try to pack on more overthinking, thinking that the overthinking will get me out of the challenge. And it doesn't. This is what gets you out of the challenge. Taking time, sitting down, answering questions, most importantly, writing them with a pen on paper. And the reason that that is so profound is because you need to stop and you need to slow down when you're asking yourself questions, and most importantly, when you're answering those questions. So, question number 1, I want you to really ask you what you're feeling right now. Is it real? Is it real? Is it something that's actually happening right now that you're feeling in real time? Or is it a prediction of something that you think is potentially going to happen? Usually it's the latter, because there's 2 things that we're always fighting for. Number 1 is certainty, and number 2 is control. And if you ask yourself, is it real? I'm hoping you will unlock the truth. Now, only you know whether that's true or not, but only you have the data. The second question is, has this happened before? Has this happened before? What I'm looking for here is for you to understand whether this is a pattern or not. Is this a part of who you've become? Is this way of thinking? Is this carrying the load, the stress, the weight? Is this something that you've just created now and you're just being that guy all day, every day? Because if this has happened before, it's probably going to happen again if you don't start to ascertain how often this is happening, and most importantly, whether it's actually real or not. These are 2 very, very powerful questions. The third and final question that gets me out of the shit every single time is this: what advice would I give someone I love about this situation? When you think outside of yourself, you change the way that you deal with stuff. Have you noticed that? When it's not about you anymore and it's about giving out, when it's about contributing and adding value elsewhere, have you noticed something shifts? Of course it does. And that's why that question is so, so important. It takes you outside of your problems and it gets you to focus on your ability and your skill to be able to articulate yourself to give the best advice, because I'm sure you're very good at giving out advice, but receiving your own advice, well, that's a little bit different, isn't it? So if you put these 3 questions into play, as simple as they are, is it real? Has this happened before? And what advice would I give someone I love about this situation? You're going to intervene that pattern of overwhelm. Give this a try. I guarantee you, as basic as it may seem, it will change the way that you look at feeling overwhelmed. And most importantly, you will have a brand new tool to put into your life. So when you're feeling that way, you can use this, and before you didn't have nothing. So give it a go, give it a crack, and let me know how you get on. Thank you for watching this video, and if you got some value from it, please remember to subscribe to this channel so I can give you more tools just like this to change your psychology and make you live a better life. Have a good day. Is it real? Is it real? Has this happened before? Has this happened before?